I'm sure you've used ride-hailing services, be it taxi, Trusky, Uber, Bolt, whatever. And you've had experiences, both pleasant and unpleasant ones. And for the unpleasant ones, you have insulted, you have fought, you have cursed out, and you have shared your stories on social media and perhaps wondered, when do we get to share those stories on traditional media? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to the premiere of the all-new Trotro Diaries TV show. And of course, we cannot talk about Trotro Diaries without seeing or talking about a very instrumental figure and face. Ladies and gentlemen, meet my co-host.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, finally, after 13 years, Trotro Diaries has come home to Joy Prime.
That's right.
And we're very excited to bring the issues that we've been discussing online to TV.
Absolutely.
So, for the last 13 years, we've been discussing issues.
Right.
But then what we realized was that drivers and other people had a voice. But commuters in general did not necessarily have a voice.
Right.
And that's what we sought to do. We've been doing it online, but then we realized TV is the place to go.
That's right.
So we're finally here on TV. There's a lot that we're going to be sharing with you guys. But for now, I'm going to hand over to my co-host.
My name is Noella Karanieli, and of course, I'm doing this with
Yao Odum.
We'll back up to this.
Of fares nowadays is outrageous. Fuel prices are going up all the time, and Ghanaians are complaining because I mean, right now we just heard that the fuel prices have gone up again, and GPRTU is about to increase price of fares in Ghana. People are complaining, the drivers are not happy, passengers are not happy. Even people cannot buy what to eat. So we are here today at the lorry station circle, and we are going to be asking the passengers, we are going to be talking to the drivers, asking them, how is this thing going to affect them? And what's the
fuel and I'm that's like one metal first one. Yeah, Gia, not passing for more than Omokasa, but fuel and Omutu more, passing for moon inside and Casson.
Yeah, affect me pa because me talk crumpa, yeah, bre. Price is now kuya pa. Price is now kuya.
Oh, as a driver, they better affect me or crime me brace so. Maybe me thought there's a 400 cities in Japan. I'm to fuel prices. Maybe I'm into Sabium. And it's a me you might be a me first one me I so better. It will affect me or so. And GPRTU price now 2 minutes or I have sometimes a ma on talk and drivers and passengers in talk be brace see what can and the end there. They me need to 20 or more 1 year like almost to 4.
But you affect me because me faka. Into never affect me. Okoto adia so nipa no fa aka na koto ye. Into by all miss bibia be affect me pa. Be affect me pa into no de. Wo munya abotre man.
Oh, I have me pa because the fuel price kosora. E ma bibia wo oman bia kosoro. E say ye fa fuel nkwan kasem. Ya da for ye na to fuel. And ye different passengers. But fuel no se kosora e bia ene akosoro ochina akosoro adechia akosoro be 1 month na akosoro wo debe na kokoto no wo yesesi maka wona ka wona nim se fuel price no ya tum enti ni sales no obeteso what na me kana say on the origin sika but
Effente because auto diesel first na say auto diesel 1 million oboko 3 sisi ade on ko 3 biam. What am I say? Minty, Effente.
By Fetty, that ban show them to so. Bibian boys, you got that in 2 months. They upon a junction on way.
I affect you saying
A dross, a canoe dross. Below the fair 4 or 5 in power sisters is city. Some way and on the total.
Now, what would Tom idea no? I affect you and comfort Tom idea. Now I almost said the boy, then the boy.
Oh, no boy, I didn't cry. First, 2 city women, they ambushed the young sass and a 2 city. In the 4 city, but to 7 city. And out the total.
Oh, as for me, dear, sometimes say increasing fuel price now. First day, need the Anna if you buy because of say
yeah, cowness no anything. Empty so yeah, almost be increase any fuel price and answer any fare.
Yeah, it will affect me in all aspects because when the fare goes up, my salary is still where it is, and when we take the salary, we know where we divide them in other this thing like rent. You take your rent, you take your fare and everything. So now that when they increase, it's going to affect me because I have to increase the fare price that I always budget for, maybe for a week or for a month. So it's going to affect me.
The government, we are pleading for him to look for a fuel issue. And we, some of us, as me like this, I'm using motorbike. You see, when you're going to buy, at times I used to buy 50 Ghana. Before I reach site, Medina, you see, the petrol come down. So we are pleading for him to look inside for us and to look inside the fare. All the time there, you see passengers and they are talking about a GPRTU. And the GPRTU doesn't do it. They are not the fault. They are not the fault. So we are pleading for the government to look inside for us. We are pleading. We are pleading. We are pleading.
You're welcome back. You're still watching the Trotro Diaries TV show. My name is Noella Karen-Yali, and today for our topic, we're discussing fuel increments. I mean, fuel prices increments, right? And also because GPRTU has hinted on a possible transport fare increment. That is our topic for today. Well, you heard from some of the maids, some of the drivers, and what they have to say about increments in these tariffs. But let's cross over to my co-host, who is with the community of Trotro Diaries. He's going to be sampling your thoughts and get to know what they also think about the topic we're discussing for today. This is the Trotro Diaries TV show. You would have to pardon me because for a long time we've known it as Trotro Diaries, and of course it's a big community on social media. If you're on Facebook, you should try and search for Trotro Diaries. You'd see how huge that community is. Perhaps if you're a driver watching, if you're a mate watching, if you are an Uber driver, a Bolt driver, whatever it is, you'd want to be a part of this community. And of course, whatever it is that haunts you, your grievances, your challenges as a driver, as a mate, whatever it is, you can share it with us. And of course, we'll be discussing all of that right here on Joy Prime Television. Once again, my name is Noella Karen-Yali. This is the Trotro Diaries TV show. And like I said, today we'll be discussing the increments in fuel prices. I mean, it's one of the things that is on the mouths of many Ghanaians. They're talking about it. And of course, we are going to also be discussing GPRTU hinting that they will be increasing, ride fares as well. Right about now, let's cross over to Yao Odum, who is with the community, the Trotro Diaries community. Let's check them out.
Okay, thank you so much, Noella. So as Noella mentioned, today we are talking about fuel increment, its impact on the society. The amazing thing is that we're not here alone today. We actually invited some of the amazing people that have been part of the Trotro Diaries community. And so we're going to hear from the community what they think about the show, and also most importantly, to hear their views on how fuel increment is impacting them. So hello.
Hi.
Okay. So you tell us your name, what you think about the show, and then we go straight to the issue for today.
All right, my name is Joel, and I think this show is very amazing because it's going to draw light on probably the challenges we are facing in Trotro.
Okay, great. Thank you, Joel. I'm just going to move next to Joel to see what she also has to say. Your name, what you think, and then we're going to the issues.
My name is Lola, and I think this show is going to help a lot of people, especially drivers, to learn more about things that happens on the streets.
Okay, so we're going to switch up the conversation a little bit, move on to the increment side, right? You can let us know what you think about the show, but what have been your experiences when you get in public transportation related to fuel increment and all that? Who wants to go next? Who wants to go next? Okay, I think I'm going to go to you.
My name is Abdullah. The issue of Trotro, Charlie, it's a lot. It's a lot. Every Ghanaian has a story to tell, because every Ghanaian, in one way or the other, have been a user of the streets. You know, Trotro Diaries is an amazing show, and we look forward to bringing more to the public. And in as much as possible, drivers and passengers have a lot to learn on the show, so we look forward to bringing more to the public.
Okay. Thank you so much. So what I want us to do now is to engage somebody that has had a very interesting experience, right, on fare increments in a Trotro. Okay, they said the fare should be this. It was increased beyond that. If there's somebody, just walk to me and then let us get to know your experience. So I think Val wants to share. So Val, come over. Okay, so tell us, what was your experience?
I think when the fuel increments went up and it finally dropped down, there was a point where they said they should decrease it by 15.3%. That was basically around 2 cedis. But some of the mates and the drivers were still with the old one. So when you give them the money, they take the old fare. When you tell them, this is the current rate, they go like, no, it hasn't. So for me, I take the money, I give you the actual one. If you don't want it, that is what is paid. I mean, so everybody go like, sir. That is before. But sometimes they will all be quiet. We are all not okay with it, but they will be quiet. When you speak, it looks like you have the big mouth. Sometimes you are out on budget. You need to go with what you have and not allow them to cheat, because if you pay them and it's 50% short, it's not going to be easy. They won't have it lightly with you, except maybe the mate is a polite person or understands and will let you go.
Okay. So, quick one. When she was saying that, she changes the money and then all that, I had a lot of people saying yes. How many of you have had that experience? Okay. So, I was very excited about one thing she said as well, right? That sometimes people want to talk, but they don't talk. That is one of the things that this show is going to be about, right? That we give commuters the voice. We become the official voice for commuters and public transportation in Ghana. So thank you so much, Val. I think we can take one more person. Okay, so who else wants to share? Okay. Hey, Charlie, the ladies are beating the guys, though. Okay, so your name and then you tell us your experience.
I am Virtuous Abna Jifa. My experience in the church, I remember there was a time when there was fare increment, and then it was 30%. And I calculated the money. I gave the money to the church mate, and he said, Madam, and I said, now 30% saying. Then I started doing the calculation in the church. Then I heard the driver shout across and said, Mami uni munkunta fakwa chiradie fatna class. So it sounded funny, and interestingly, I'm a teacher too. So they were like, "Antu uni munhumanta hana be." I said, "Debi I am right into say so." Then I was very lucky, fortunate, and then some passengers also gave me the back end. So in the end, we won.
Okay. Thank you so much. So this is just a tip of the iceberg. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to discuss the issues. We're going to give a voice to commuters and public transportation users. But most importantly, we want to create a dialogue that improves things on the roads. So at this point, I'm going to head back to my co-host. Over to you, Noella.
Thank you so much, Yao Doom. And of course, you're welcome back to the studios of Joy Prime. Great conversations, insightful, feedbacks there. And of course, we're taking a breather at this point. When we come back, I'll be sharing with you some comments. And of course, we'll get into the in-studio discussion. This is the Trotro Diaries TV show. You're welcome. Back to the Trotro Diaries TV show right here on Joy Prime Television. And of course, Yao is here with me. Yao, what are we doing?
Yes, so we've gotten to the point where we're going to have an in-studio conversation on today's topic, which is increment of fuel fares, of fuel prices. And what we want to do is dive a bit deeper into the conversation.
That's right.
We were able to engage the community at a broader level, but we're inviting two people from the community to join us.
Awesome.
But basically, the idea would be we're going to have a conversation.
Right.
What does it actually mean to us?
Right.
And go in, dig a bit deeper into the subject. But I'm curious, what has been your own personal experience?
Oh, I've had really interesting experiences with, ride-hailing service. I could go back to the days of my Trotro days.
Trotro days.
Thankfully to God, I don't take Trotro anymore. I have progressed to Uber. So, I've had really unpleasant experiences from, fighting with mates. Oh, yes, I have fought with mates where you give them, you'd give them money. They'll tell you, okay, maybe from Spintex to Sakumono, it's, let's say, 5 cedis.
Okay.
And then you give them 10 cedis, and they'll tell you, my shorty 5 cedis, and I'm a shorty 2 cedis.
Hey,
What
5 cedis?
That's not what they bought me. You get it. That's what they bought me. And even with, Uber fares, I mean, I live at Spintex.
Whoa.
From Spintex to my workplace, I'm paying approximately 75 cedis a day alone. So out is another ball game altogether. So I'm just wondering if they're going to be increasing, the price fares. What am I going to be paying? 90 cedis?
Interesting.
How much is my salary? Because every time tariffs are going up, salaries don't go up.
True.
So yeah, that's what we'll be discussing right here on the show. Like Yao said, we'll be joined by 2 community members of Trotro Diaries. But let's take a breather, and when we come back, we'll introduce them to you.
Of fares nowadays is outrageous. Fuel prices are going up all the time, and Ghanaians are complaining because I mean, right now we just heard that the fuel prices have gone up again, and GPRTU is about to increase price of fares in Ghana. People are complaining. The drivers are not happy. Passengers are not happy. Even people cannot buy what to eat. So we are here today at the lorry station circle, and we are going to be asking the passengers. We are going to to the drivers, asking them, how is this thing going to affect them, and what's the
fuel and almost to that's like one metal first one. Yeah, Gia, not passing for more than Omokasa, but fuel and almost 2 more. Panya for moon outside and Casson.
Yeah, affect me pa because me ta kwompa yeah bre. Prices na kuye pa. Prices na kuye.
And fuel prices the Queen Pans. You're welcome back to the Trotro Diaries TV show with me, Noella, Karen Yali, and of course, Yao Odum. And of course, before we went on that breather, I know we promised our viewers that we'd be introducing to them our guest for today. But before that, let's get into the Trotro Diaries story. It has a beautiful story. Like I said earlier, we hinted on how the show started. I mean, it started on social media, but of course, me, I'm an outsider. Yao is the insider. Yao, tell us about, the Trotro Diaries.
Sure.
I mean, how did this big community, I mean, your membership is
So now we
what?
just crossed the 500,000 mark.
Oh, wow.
500,000
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, tell me about how you built that community.
Okay. So the interesting thing was literally what you mentioned, right? That you have these personal experiences. So back in 2011, that was the experience that I had. I used to live at Medina, and I was working at North Industrial Area, not too far from here.
Right.
To get to work each morning, I would have to take 3 trotros. If I got to the Medina Zongo Junction at 5:45 a.m., I was already late for work, which was at 8 a.m.
Right.
So it was just the hustle and the bustle trying to get the trotro, people fighting with you and all that. So the first day I shared the experience, we're on our way to work. There's traffic. Driver tries to avoid the traffic. And you know how the story goes.
Yeah.
He uses a route that's even worse.
Yeah.
So we get in the traffic, and I'm at the back seat. I am so pissed that this driver used this route. So I jump on Facebook, and I'm like, this driver is so lucky that I'm at the back seat. And that if I was closer to him with all this macho, which obviously wasn't there.
Ayora saying who much on the way?
Trust me, it's even better now. That time was like half of this.
Oh my goodness.
It was crazy. So I think the humor of it and all that, I put it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had people in Ghana, people in Nigeria, people in Kenya responding to it.
Right.
So what it was that as a young Ghanaian, trying to make ends and all that, going through these experiences were stressing me. So I realized by the time I get to work, I'm already tired. But when I started sharing these experiences, now it became a fun experience for me. So on my way to work, I want something dramatic. I want some violence to happen so that I could share. So we put that out, and then by God's grace, people identified with the experience, started building up, and then I think the turning point was in 2017 when the community grew from 30,000 people to 200,000.
No, but so how did you create the community? Because you just started with people, your story resonating with people and them, reacting to your post. But from that, how did you build the community?
Great. So what we did then was I created a Facebook group and then started inviting family and friends and people that identify with the experience. So in the beginning people were waiting for me to share these experiences because I had a touch of humor that I could add to it.
Right.
And then people were like, no, we want to share our experiences as well. So we opened it up. Anybody could share their experiences. And eventually the idea was, okay, how can we use this community to improve public transportation?
To impact generation.
Impact generation.
Right.
So then the idea became, okay, people can report the issues, the challenges they faced. So we put it out there along the line. CNN did a documentary on it.
I was coming to that.
I think
you
it
jumped
came
ahead
out.
of me.
I'm sorry.
Hello. But okay, it's fine. You can just talk about that.
Sure. So I think they wanted to do something on transportation.
Right.
Our community jumped on their page, and then it just picked up.
Right.
And Errol Barnett and the team that you can see on the screen now.
Yeah, so we have excess of that CNN feature.
Yes.
Let's take a look at it, and when we come back, we'll tell you more about the Trotro Diaries stories.
Capital, limitations, and the lighter side. Home to more than 25 million people, Ghana is one of the most populous nations in West Africa. At least 4 million people live in and around the capital, Accra, making it one of Africa's largest cities. Its infrastructure is just like other African urban centers, aged from the colonial era and unable to keep up with the demands of a burgeoning population. These days, the city streets have become chaotic. You can just look around me, clogged as well, as more Ghanaians jump behind the wheel. Now, that's a result of a growing middle class here and cheaper imported vehicles from overseas. In fact, in 2011, there was a staggering 40% increase in ownership of light cars here. 40%. Add into the mix taxis, motorcycles, and minibuses, which here are called troskis or trotros, and it becomes one massive transportation nightmare. But as we discovered when we posted a question on our Facebook page, Ghanaians see the funny side of their transportation woes. We asked locals for stories on how everyone gets around the city. Most suggested we read something called the Trotro Diaries. More than 1,000 people...
Anyano, join me in thanking God because I'm Yayebi. Oh, yeah, what? Who was that? Was I watching the train or something? Because I cannot understand.
This is what they say, Nyamiayebi, God has done so. Yeah, so that was me.
Awesome stuff.
A while back, yeah.
But anyway, as you can see, we've been joined by two esteemed individuals. They are members of the community, and of course, they will be sharing their stories with us, plus contributing to the topic for discussion today as well. So let me just allow them introduce themselves, and then, we'll get into the conversation, starting with, the lady first.
Okay. All right. My name is Ama Boatima
Quinta, right.
Popularly known on the page TTD Assembly Woman.
That's right. How about you?
Yeah, I'm Nana T.
Nana T been out home.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the premiere of our show. Can you believe it? Started from social media, we're on traditional media now.
Right here, yeah.
You're happy, aren't you?
Yes.
Awesome stuff.
Hey, are my family people watching? Hey. yes, my Mankesim people.
Awesome. Yeah, you need to complete that story.
Definitely. Yeah. So yes, I think we've seen a CNN video where we shared a lot of the stuff, but basically it became a voice for Yes, so we thank CNN for that opportunity. And so basically it started from there, and then it went into everybody sharing their experiences. Then we started adding some projects. So we've done some projects at Circle on sanitation, plastics, and all that. We've done some educational projects and all that.
Right.
So this year is so special because this year we're turning 13, and it happens that we're bringing it onto TV. Now, the other side of it is that as the community was shaping up, we also had people that, like me, had their own unique experiences that they started sharing on the community. And the people we have here are two of these people.
Right.
And so I'll leave for you to also drill them small. Like
I won't drill them. How can I drill them? How can I drill? But indeed, I mean, it's visible. The community has indeed grown, so much so that the award, members, that's the plaque. The Trotro Diaries plaque. So if you, behave yourself. If you're driving, you behave yourself, yeah? You get one of these plaques. And I think that's very innovative and very creative as well. So kudos to you and the team. But let me get to our guest and speak to them. I'm going to start with you, Quinta. Okay. First of all, what has been your experience being a part of the community?
Oh, I will take this opportunity to say hello to all Trotro Diaries members watching us, to talk about my experience on TTD. That's the short name for it. It's amazing. I've really had an encounter, a big family from the community, and I've learned a lot also from there. And I'm a big fan of driving, and through that, from experiences.
You're a driver?
Oh yes, I want to be one day known to be like one of the great drivers.
I love that.
Yeah, from the page, usually being on the road, some things I got to learn from the community. Because I believe that there are more people who have some experiences that I would not have the chance to get. So absolutely. I would say it's a great platform which I've learned a lot, mingling a lot, have a big family out of that.
Awesome stuff. Nanati, how about you?
That has been one of the greatest breakthrough for me. Yes.
Well, first of all, what are you? What do you do?
Okay, I'm a member.
Okay.
I'm a member. Okay, so if you see anything Nanati, that was the genesis from TTD, from Trotro Diaries. It has given me that opportunity to express myself. I've learned a whole lot of good, positive stuff from TTD. When I joined first, I saw people posting. So I'll go and copy somebody something and then post it.
Plagiarism.
Then he would decline. I'm like, so I was asking myself, who is this guy?
Right. Why isn't he accepting me? Does he know who I am?
No, at the time, I kept asking myself, who is this guy? He kept declining my post, and I'm like, okay, let me learn what others are doing.
Awesome.
That is making them to, they are supposed to be posted on the page. Then I started learning. Then I realized, okay, I started creating my own content. So TTD made me start creating content on my own.
Awesome stuff.
Yes,
awesome.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, listen, you at home watching, you can be a part of us. I know some of you are watching via Facebook, by Joy Prime Television as well. Wherever you're watching, you can share your thoughts with us via the WhatsApp number displayed on your screens. Just text that number with whatever it is, whatever messages you have, whatever contributions you have. We are ready to read them live on the show. So guys, let's get into the business of the day. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yes. So just before we get into that, I think there was an interesting story I heard recently. I was in Tema visiting one of our community members, and she mentioned, so she makes cakes. And apparently through the community that has been built, she ordered a cake from her, so she delivered all the way from Tema to Winneba.
Oh, wow.
And that's like the beauty of what the community has been in.
Right.
And the idea now is to turn that community and that voice into a conversation around the transport issues. So today we're talking about fuel increments and its impact on you, either as a driver or as a commuter. What has been your experience?
Okay, I will start by saying, yesterday myself, I got very surprised at the filling station that usually I buy fuel from. I got there and, usually I use this small I-10. That before, if you use 200 cedis, it will be just, on the full tank. And you are getting there and it's like 14 point something. I'm like, what? When? And she was like, hey, madam, so you have to reduce the amount that you want to buy. So it was like I wasn't budgeted for such an amount. So it's like it's really, really hard for some of us. And the salary is the same. So imagine you just wake up and you go, you meet like this. It's I don't know, like
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I think that's a very interesting conversation that keeps coming back. And I think there have been two key issues. Fuel and everything is going up. Salaries are still where they are.
That's right.
And also, another interesting part of the conversation is the service itself. So fares have increased by so much, but has the service improved? I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Nana T.
No, it's still the same.
Okay. But do you think
we need to hammer more on that service?
Exactly.
Because I've had really, like I said, I've had really unpleasant, what do I even say, experiences with drivers, you know. I don't know, maybe there should be some sort of like an orientation, especially for people, for organizations like Uber, Bolt. I feel like they should hold maybe quarterly training sessions, you know, to take drivers through some sort of orientation. Because you're customer service people. You are offering services to people. For Uber drivers and those kind of, and I'm sorry, I keep on, you know, hitting on them because they're the ones I use, you know, your services is very poor. To the extent that there are days where when a driver is pleasant to me or gives me a good experience, I'm like, hey, and then you know, and that shouldn't be the same. That shouldn't be what it is.
I'm sure that person is a TTD member.
So maybe
yes.
You know. So I honestly feel like there should be some orientation. What do you think, Nanati?
Yes. Like what you just said, quarterly training must be done. Because most of the services, like you may join a Trotsky and the kind of experience you get from the mate to the driver. Sometimes we don't want to talk about some of these things, but it is really, really bad. Imagine paying that huge sums of money from, let's say, from a place to another point, and you still get a bad service. How would you feel? The whole day is messed up. Yes, so some of these things, yes. So I think one of the things TTD can be doing, and I know we are already doing it online, but they can input it into the in-person training. Yes, these are some of the things TTD can equally, even though we are doing it online because of how people talk about it, and then others change through the posts and comments and all that. I think we can do it the in-person. Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, if you say in-person, what do you mean? Who are we training? In person, what do you mean?
The drivers and then the drivers and the mates.
And the mates.
Well. Yes.
Okay.
Mostly because of the community, even though we use Uber and Bolt, but majority of
online ride-hailing services.
We use the Trotsky and all that. Yeah. So both.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, let me just put out this disclaimer. We are not bent on any particular brand or whatever. We're just, sharing our experiences, basically. It's not meant to tarnish the image of whatever brand it is or of riding services it is. But anyway, Nanati, do you think it's possible that there'll ever be a time where they increase fuel and drivers don't increase, their prices? And I'm asking this because, last night I picked a taxi.
Okay.
And he charged a relatively fair price.
Okay.
And I remember asking him, he was talking to me about, this increment thing. Okay. And I remember asking him that I feel like the people fuel prices really affect is us, the people that pick you.
Yes.
So I feel like I know it's not as also easy for the drivers as well, but can we be a bit empathetic to, the passengers we pick in the kind of prices we decide to charge? It won't say charge it high, but a bit mobile, I charge it high, not so high, because
some of their complaints from the drivers are like, they are driving for somebody. So when the charges goes up, it also affects them. Their sales. And then the owners, they are not ready to listen to them.
Agree.
Yes, they are. So it also put pressure on the driver. So me, most of the time, taxi, I don't really like it. I love Bolt and Uber because theirs is being calculated. So that one, when we are being cheated, you say no, there's no cheating. But with the taxis, nah, they will mention prices and you just go online and check, and the prices is way down.
Okay.
So to me, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can respect that. But I'd love for us not to mention Bolt or Uber. Let's use ride-hailing services.
To be fair, too.
It's more general. But anyway, let's do some messages. Okay. So Esther says, "Hi, I'm Esther, and I'm happy to be a part of this wonderful family, and I'm watching you live from Isama Kese. And Isama for Mumbaba. Hey, hi. Yeah, you want to help me with some?
Okay, so next one we have, I'm Abrahamson, watching live from Asesiwa. I think that's where
that's where I come from.
Hey,
Nice. That's Nana T.
Yeah. Hey, I'm
a member of Trotro Diaries. Nana T, I need your contact.
Hey, here too.
Okay, so this is another amazing member we have, Grace Tivlin. So she drives, she's a lady member. She drives one of these big fuel trucks.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Do you know how she joined the page?
Interesting.
No. So let me take her comment first and then we'll come to that. So she says, I got to know Trotro Diaries through Nana T.
Yes.
It has become a great opportunity for me. I got my current job with Star Oil through this Noble platform.
Wow.
It helps me post my experience as a female truck driver.
Lovely.
Hey, Grace, wherever you are, I also need a Star Oil somewhere.
Okay, so next one says, I'm Nana BBF, a proud member, and I can't express the joy seeing my Trotro Diaries family on Joy Prime TV for the first time.
Yay! We're happy to have you. Yes. We're happy to have you.
Okay, so I think, Noella, do you want to take this?
Hey, Nana T, good job. You are an inspiration to us. Obomode.
That's
okay.
Obomode.
And that's from Godfred in Achim Osiem. Okay. Awesome stuff. LB says, I have been a member since 2018. Reading the frustrating but sometimes funny stories from some members makes my day. To talk of fuel prices, it's burdensome. We hope to bear it. Oh, wow.
Ooh, bad.
That's quite, Trotro Diaries, wow, we've come far. Watching live from Kumasi, Kronom. I'm Mavis, a silent member. Why are you silent? Why are you silent?
Today you'll be exposed.
I think with this message, she's no longer. Maybe she was waiting for the Joy Prime TV show.
Right, probably. To break it. Hi, I'm Sandra from Christian Village, watching live on Joy Prime TV. I'm on the community and a silent member. Though it's a lovely place to be. Awesome. Awesome. Watching the premiere of Trotro Diaries TV show live from Gomwa, Pomaze via Winnipeg Junction. I'm Lord Lawson and a proud community member. Oh, we love all of you. We love you.
So if we still have chance to take more. So hi, good morning. My name is Fatih. I'm watching from Ho. Thanks to thanks to the CEO for all the good works that he and the team are doing. May Allah strengthen him and Trotro Diaries.
ECD.
Awesome stuff.
Okay. Hello, good day. My name is Joe Manifest. I'm a member of Trotro Diaries and I'm watching live from Spintex. Mr. Yahodum and the team, Ama Quintana and Nati, are doing great. And thank you. I think Joy Prime deserves a round of applause.
And even standing up.
So thank you so much, Joy Prime, for supporting the community and partnering on this. Driver orientation will be a very good idea. Station masters can hold quarterly training at various stations.
Absolutely. Let's read some more. Good morning, my people. I'm part of the TTD, and I love you guys. Good job. Oh, why didn't you add your name? Would have loved to have your name. Anyway, let's read some more from Albert of Osubambil, who says Trotro Diaries isn't only about sharing commuting stories, I beg your pardon, but they also do giveaways and that's the most interesting part I love about the community. Oh, awesome.
Actually, great that he mentioned. So today we had Miss Cookie Spices sponsoring. So after all the community members can just drop by and pick up a hamper, free hamper from Miss Cookie Spices. We have one for you.
Okay,
and also the Joy
better.
Pride.
Oh, awesome stuff. But it's a lovely community we have there. But let's go on.
It's way
fun.
Big. Yes,
I
fun.
see.
Everything is there. Everything that you are looking,
I see.
it's there.
I see.
Yes.
Awesome.
Looking at positive impacts. Recently, that wasn't even the first time weeding or maybe having this sanitation thing. I've done it over and over because of TTD. Yes. Yes. They train you to become like.
Right.
Yes. You do things right.
And
our
and he's very disciplined.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly where I want to go. Yes.
You will be disciplined.
Yes.
I see. Hey, wait. We need to understand the discipline. Oh, child, one.
No. Like, you know,
Okay.
you need to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see.
I think what it was for most people, they thought Facebook groups were just a Facebook group.
Yeah.
I can jump on there, insult and all that.
misbehave.
And we were like, no.
No way.
We believe that
should keep some
communities can be
sanity.
better.
Right,
There can be
yeah.
some sanity and all that. And I think it's good we did that because these are the things that Joy Prime stands for as well. And if we didn't do that, we would not have the opportunity to be able to partner with Joy Prime.
Anyway, we're still live on Joy Prime Television. It's the Trotro Diaries TV show. It's the premiere session or edition. Of course, if you just joined us, you are welcome. It's live every Saturday at 11 a.m. So do well to join us as we discuss, pertinent societal issues, ones that are, haunting you as a driver, a mate, a commuter, or even as a normal Ghanaian. Yes. Whatever it is that you think it's a societal ill that you'd want us to discuss, you can share that with us via WhatsApp pages or our social media pages, as you say. And of course, we will be discussing that right here on the show. But for today, we're discussing fuel price increments and subsequently ride fares increments as well, because GPRTU has hinted on a possible increment in, ride fares. But I'm wondering, will there be a time that we perhaps, invite some of the GPRTU officials into the studio to come speak to us about some of the things they consider in increasing, fare prices? Because Charlie, sometimes it can be very, like one of our members said, burdensome.
Yeah.
Me, I want beds. So I feel like maybe going forward, this is some of the things we should, incorporate in the show to make it fun. Today is all, introduction, right? So nothing serious. But of course, as we go, we're going to be doing all of that and more. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the perfect thing that you said. And the idea basically is, how do we drive these conversations that then end up improving stuff?
That's right.
Because it looks like for a long period of time, it's been increment. Commuters don't have any say. And as we said earlier on, salaries are also not going through.
Yes.
And so at the end of the day, okay, what is the impact on the everyday Ghanaian? What does their voice count for anything? And at the end of the day, how do we make sure that there's a holistic conversation? Policy decision makers, we're bringing them in, as you mentioned, GPRTU and other organizations like that. It's not, the idea is not to have a confrontation. The idea is to have these important conversations that lead to the result. So I think it's very right that you put it that way. I don't know, we had some people on Zoom. I don't know if we had the people on Zoom to join us.
I'm sure they'll be joining us pretty shortly. If we can have the link or the ID of Zoom on our screens, then you can, simply just, enter those details and then join us. But let's take a breather. We're back with more.
Of fares nowadays is outrageous. Fuel prices are going up all the time, and Ghanaians are complaining because I mean, right now we just heard that the fuel prices have gone up again, and GPRTU is about to increase price of fares in Ghana. People are complaining. The drivers are not happy. Passengers are not happy. Even people cannot buy what to eat. So we are here today at the lorry station circle, and we are going to be asking the passengers. We are going to talk to the drivers, asking them, how is this thing going to affect them? And what's the
fuel and I'm too so. That's like on metrol first wa. Ye jia na passenger for mo ye de o mo kasa. Ba fu e no o mo tumu a passenger for mo hu yan san ye de en kasa ho.
Yeah, affect me pa because me ta kokrom pa ye bre. Prices na kuye o, kuye pa. Prices na kuye.
Oh, as a driver, they better affect me or crime me brace so. Maybe me thought there's a 400 cities near one. I'm to fuel prices, maybe I mean to Sabium. And it's a me you might be a fast one meniano, I so bet it. It will affect me or Saquans. And a GPRTU price no 2 minutes or no. I have sometimes a ma on Toka and a drivers and passengers and Toka be brace, see what a carny and the end there. They me new dinner 20 or more 1 year like almost to 4 any.
But you are affecting me because me faka. Into never affecting me. Okoto adia so nipa no fa car. No kotoye. Into by all miss. Bibia be affecting me pa. Be affecting me pa. Into no dear. What munya abotre mine.
Oh, I have me pa because the fuel price kosra. Emma bibia wo oman bia kosro. As a young fuel and can castle. Yeah, for any to fuel. And they are different passengers. But fuel no say kosra ebia ene akosoro ochina akosoro adechia akosoro be 1 month na akosoro wo de be na kokoto no wo yesesi maka wona ka wona nim say fuel price no yatum ntini ni sales no obeteso what na me gonna say on the origin sika
but FNT pa because auto diesel first na say auto diesel 1 million oboko 3 sisi ade on ko 3 biam what am I say minti FNT
ba fet me da ba no mo hwe no mtete so bibia no ba yeze e kota din pa ntum nto se pa no chon hwe no mbo an
ay affect o sen
e do asoro e ka no do aso bi lo fe 4 5 pa wala sisters 6 so mbo an no tete do
na wa ton wade no e affect o nkofo ton wade na e o ka se ne boy de
oh ne boy de kra first 2 city wo min da yembo sasa na 2 city nda 4 city but 7 city e da o tete do.
Oh, as for me there sometimes no say increase fuel price now first day ni there na if you buy because of say your cowness no anything say yeah omo be increase any fuel price and I say any fare.
Yeah, it will affect me in all aspects because when the fare goes up, my salary is still where it is, and when we take the salary, you know where we divide them in other this thing like rent. You take your rent, you take your fare and everything. So now that when they increase, it's going to affect me because I have to increase the fare price that I always budget for, maybe for a week or for a month. So it's going to affect me.
The government, we are pleading for him to look for a fuel issue. And we, some of us, as me like this, I'm using motorbike. You see, when I go to buy, well, times I used to buy 50 Ghana before I reach sites, Medina. You see, the petrol come down. So we are pleading for him to look inside for us and to look inside the fare. All the time there, you see passengers and they are talking about a GPRTU, and the GPRTU doesn't do it. They are not the fault. They are not the fault. So we are pleading for the government to look inside for us. We are pleading. We are pleading. We are pleading.
Of fares nowadays is outrageous. Fuel prices are going up all the time, and Ghanaians are complaining because
You're welcome back. It's the Trotro Diaries television show live on Joy Prime Television with me, Noella Kareniali. But all too soon, we've come to the end of a beautiful premiere of the show. We've had insightful conversations. We had Nana T and Miss Quinta, who are members of the Trotro Diaries community on Facebook. You learned that, it's been running for 13 years. It featured in CNN. It's quite huge, quite monumental. And after 13 years, you're live on television. It's a beautiful day. It's a great day to celebrate. Want to thank all of you for joining us on this journey. All of you that sent messages. The messages were a lot. There were a plethora of messages, but of course we couldn't read everything. My attire was by the beautiful Samilia Couture. You can reach her by the numbers on your screens. My name is Noella Karanyali. We're ending the show with the community who Yao Odum is with. I'm crossing over to him.
Room, and we just want to appreciate people that supported today. So we're here speaking to a rep from Miss Cookies. Hello, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Okay, so we wanted to know, why did you guys support us today, and what do you have for us after the show?
Okay, Miss Cookie is a brand that we love to support Ghanaian works. So even as we are here, we came here so that we could support the community to grow. Yeah, basically, that's why we are here.
Okay, so that's from the Miss Cookie team. I think they deserve to be appreciated. So after the show, they are giving out some free hampers. Just come over. If you are close to Joy Prime, just come over and pick one. So we have another lady from the community as well. If you can introduce yourself and what you're supporting with.
I'm Yamamle Papa B on Facebook. Yo, Papa B. Oh, actually, I'm part of TTDN. So this is our first time, so I decided to support.
Okay, so the name of your drink so that people want to check you out. Okay, so Joanna's Hub. If you want drinks, you can reach out to them. And then we also have Miss Cookie Spices supporting us. So ladies and gentlemen, okay. Thank you. Okay, so that has been the premiere of the Trotro Diaries TV show on Joy Prime. You can have an idea how amazing and crazy and exciting it's going to be. It's going to be the official voice of commuters and public transportation. On that note, we want to say a very big thank you to all the people that joined us online, the Trotro Diaries community, Joy Prime community. Watch out for us and join us every Saturday at 11 a.m. Thank you and see you soon.